What is going on? Good morning, Silas from the back room. Here we go this week. We've got some beauty quiz. We're going to be discussing something. I'm not sure what we're talking about, but we got some hot topic discussion to make. And I know we're talking about toning, I think.
No, we're talking about keratin today, my
Oh,
friend.
we're talking about keratin, and then John's got some motivation, right?
And we've got all kinds of stuff going on today. We have, hold on, my computer is nerding out. We're going to talk about preparing for our future.
Oh,
Yeah. So we've got an action-packed episode. But as always, we have to start with, how's your week going, big guy?
week's going good. What is your obsession with how my week is going?
It's not me. It's everybody else wants to know how you are. They care about you.
Who wants to know? What do you all want to know about my week? All I'm gonna tell you is my week, as every week goes, is busy, it's fun, it's goofy, it's also stressful, nerve-wracking, and exhausting.
Hence the undead look to your face. We're dealing with zombie Eddie today. Okay.
Right. I'm on autopilot.
My camera's being weird. Hold on, guys. There we go. All right. So we've got a quiz for you today.
Hmm.
Do you just want to get the complaining out of the way right away, or do you want to wait till you're asked the questions?
I have no idea.
Because normally right after the first question, you complain.
Do I?
Yes.
No, not after. Okay, what's the first question?
Okay. You got to listen to the whole question, and it's a multiple choice question. You don't get a Scantron sheet to color into like we did when we were in high school. Okay.
Wow.
Okay, so you ready? And this is about most of this. The quiz today is about hair.
Is about hair.
Hair.
Okay.
A single strand of hair can support up to, now here's your choices: 1 pound, 6 ounces, 3 ounces, or 2 pounds.
Wow, that's a question. Whoo-wee. I'm gonna say 1 pound, a single strand.
You are incorrect, young man. A single strand can support up to 3 ounces of weight.
Duh.
So think about it. You could take a single strand of hair, wrap it around a tube of color.
You know what?
Yeah,
You're right. You're right. I goofed that one big time. Because I always talk about the perm solution being 4-ounce bottle, neutral. Perm solutions 4-ounce bottle. You always got to make sure you completely saturate, all the hair. The hair's got to be completely saturated, right?
Right.
Yeah, should have known that. So a single strand can hold up to 3 ounces of
3
hair.
ounces.
3 ounces of weight.
Yeah.
You know what I'm thinking of? Have you seen those, like, is it Circus Soleil? I don't know what it is. Girls will attach their hair and like wrap it over, I don't know, a weight or
and they spin them around and stuff. Yeah.
Man, I'm like, gosh, that's gotta hurt. But they do it in such a specific way. Hair is a lot stronger.
Yeah.
There's rope braids, hair rope braids.
Right.
Rapunzel, she made a whole thing out of her hair.
Like she was a real person.
Oi.
Okay, you ready?
What was her braid? Was that a French braid or was it an invisible braid? It was a 3-strand, wasn't it?
It was a 3-strand, yeah. Wasn't it? If you look at, well, it depends. Okay, you ready for number 2?
I got my own quiz, sucker.
Look at you. Look at you. And you didn't even complain about the first question.
That was actually a really good question.
Here's number 2. Hair can absorb what percentage of its weight in water? A, 20%.
Up to 50% of its weight.
B, 50%, C, 10%, or D, 30%?
Wait, what was the first one?
20%, 50%, 10%,
Yeah, no.
or 30%?
I know this one. It's 50%.
You are unfortunately incorrect, sir.
No.
30%.
No.
Yes. He's Google.
What am I? It can absorb up to 30% of its own weight.
Yes.
It can
Wet hair.
stretch up to 50%
Yes,
of its
sir.
own length
Yes,
when it's
yes.
wet.
So yes,
Okay.
hair can
Okay.
absorb
See,
up.
this is a beauty quiz, not your freaking history lesson crap Jeopardy stuff from last week. This is a good quiz. Okay. Okay. All right. You're tricky dicky with these questions. I got you.
It's straightforward.
This is some state board tricky.
Yeah, look at him. He's gonna go digging for his Milady standard text.
I like this. Okay, so this one. Okay, this is a good one.
Okay,
this is a good one.
So once again, it can absorb 30% of its weight in water.
Okay.
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 Now, here's a fun one. This is a true false. Hair is stronger than copper wire of the same diameter.
Whoa.
True or false?
Whoa. Copper wire is very pliable.
Now you're thinking about copper wire, the same diameter as that hair strand.
A strand of hair is stronger.
Yes.
Is the true?
Yes.
Like if I want to say true, that means a strand of hair is stronger.
Yes.
I'm going with true.
True is true. Yes, sir.
Yeah, copper is is a lot more pliable than people realize.
It's very pliable, but
and it's used a lot for soldering. Is it still used a lot for soldering?
Yeah, and nickel. There's all kinds of things they use.
Yeah. That's what I'm thinking about. Yeah. Okay.
Now here's a fun one. It's another true false question.
Well, okay. All right.
And I know your love of monkeys.
Godzilla beats King Kong every time.
Humans have the same amount of hair follicles.
False.
As a chimpanzee.
I don't want to hear the rest of your question. It's just false. If you're comparing anything human to stupid monkey, okay, I won't agree. You and Wikipedia, go rewrite your own narrative. Fake news. Fake news.
I knew this was coming. That's why I picked this question. Humans.
Let me go earmuff myself. Let me leave the room so you can say the question properly to the audience so they can hear what you're on about.
Oh God, I love these moments during this podcast. I really do. Look, his head's in his hand and everything.
I refuse.
Humans have the same amount of hair follicles as a chimp. True or false?
False.
True. Think about it.
False.
Think about it. They're just like
there's nothing to think about.
Name the 3 parts of your body that do not have hair follicles.
Under your feet, the palm of your hand. I don't know. What's the third? What is the third part? What is that behind your ear?
Your lips.
What?
Your lips don't have hair follicles on them. Look, we both started licking our lips. It's okay. The soles of your feet, the palms of your hand, and your lips.
What does that have to do with anything?
Other than that, the rest of your body has hair follicles on it.
Okay.
Chimpanzees are the same way.
No, they're not.
Yeah, they are.
Their butts are bald.
No, they're not. You're thinking of a monkey. You're not thinking of a chimpanzee.
There's no difference.
There's a big difference.
There's no
big difference.
I don't care.
Yes, you do. Okay. Oh, this is a good one.
Godzilla beats King Kong every time.
This is a good one. In ancient Rome, women dyed their hair with A, wine, B, animal fat, C, clay, or D, pigeon droppings.
Wow. I I I did read somewhere that they tried coloring their hair with grapes at one point. Well, and then the second thing you said, and then animal fats, I believe, if it wasn't the Romans, there was another culture that I read. Ooh, there wasn't. I did read this. There is a culture that did use animal fat. God, was it the Romans or was it the Indians? Was it the Aztecs? And they use blood mixed with the animal fats. What was the third? You said clay?
Clay,
Like dirt?
like clay from the earth. Yes, clay.
Clay from the earth. Really? How would that even could that even be a thing?
Well, it's kind of reddish.
It's kind of reddish, but
Or
you would
pigeon
have to like could you emulsify clay into I wonder, huh? Could you emulsify clay? Is that like basically henna?
No, henna's a plant. It's the root. They use the root.
Bird dropping just sounds weird as hell, man.
So
That just sounds weird as hell. I don't know about bird dropping.
pick one.
How would that even? Yeah, I don't even know how that would work. Okay. Oh, all right. I'm gonna go with wine. For the Romans, I'm gonna go with wine. They were alkies.
You are incorrect, sir. It was pigeon droppings.
Really?
Yes.
Pigeon droppings.
Yes. They would
How
emulsify it.
alkaline is pigeon
Very.
droppings?
Really think about it.
What?
But yeah, they would
Wow.
emulsify it and use it to dye their hair.
Oh, who figured that out? Somebody was building something, or somebody was in the Colosseum evening out the sand, and a pigeon poop on his head, and he didn't realize. And then he came, back inside, took a bath, and everyone's like, "Man, why is your hair blonde all of a sudden?"
I found that question. I was reading an article about some of the next generation of hair colors coming out, and off to the side it said hair. There's a clickbait where it said hair facts that you never knew or something like that, right? And
Okay.
I went, I clicked on it because and it came up all these unknown hair facts. And when that one came up, I went, "Oh, this is gonna bend his mind." So
Pigeon droppings emulsified and
Yep.
rubbed into the hair.
yeah, there you go.
Look, here's me. Yeah, I read about the animal fat mixed with blood, and I'm like, yeah, that tracks. That makes sense to me. Why wouldn't pigeon dropping make sense to me?
Well, yeah, and I mean it's actually a quiz question for later on down the line, but you know that when they used lye soap, lye
Yeah.
mixed with animal fat, that's how that's how the slaves used to relax their hair.
Yeah.
Because you have the moisture, a little bit of moisture from that fat, and then the lye being as nasty as it is, it only kind of blistered their scalp,
Kind of, yeah, right.
So, and I have one more for you.
Okay.
These are 5 questions for the day. Hair follicles. See, I told you I went full hair today for you.
I got to get one right, man. Have I gotten anything right today so far? I got one.
Yeah.
No, I got the one right.
Yeah.
I got 2 right.
One right.
One right. All right.
Hair follicles can be 3 shapes.
Well, like wavy, curly, and straight.
We're talking about the shape of the follicle itself.
Oh, like oval, cylinder, and flat.
Yes.
Okay. So what are the options?
Your choices are octagon, trapezoid, and hexagonal.
What the hell? Okay.
B. That was A. B. Square, triangle, and star shaped, or A. Round, flat, and oval.
This is a trick question. I already answered it then. All right, then. Wait, you said A, B, and then A, and then you made A.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I'm the same things.
Here we go. Okay.
You're tricky dicky with this state board examination questions. So
well,
it's
because you answered it, so I had to give you the choices in reverse order. It's the answer, guys, is round, flat, and oval as far as the shape of the follicle.
At least I knew that much.
You did pay attention in beauty school. We are so proud of you.
Ding, 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 ding.
You get a cookie. So, on that note, we had some fun with the quiz. Are you happy with that quiz?
No.
How many weeks have we been doing this?
This is the 5th week. I'm still not happy. Okay, I gotta say, this one, 4 out of 5, better, way better. Okay, I don't know about your stupid monkey doo-doo dookie thing question, but
leave monkeys alone. Okay,
stupid.
Just because you're closer to a chimpanzee than you'd like to accept.
I hate them all. I hate them. People have this thing of spiders. I got monkeys.
You have a lot of phobias.
No, it's not. It's not even a phobia. It's a hatred. Actually, yeah, I take it back. People got phobia of spiders. They don't hate spiders. They scared of spiders. I ain't scared of monkeys. I just don't like them. Godzilla beats King Kong every time. That's it. That's
if anybody has a family member watching that can do deep psychotherapy, please reach out to us so we can get Eddie with someone that can help him with his hatred.
I'll do another case study. I've done case studies before for therapists, especially kids in college trying to do their term papers. Their evaluation of me have gotten them an A on their theses. Thesis. Yeah, that one too. So yes, I am a wealth of entertainment, information, and psychoanalytical chaos that could be studied for generations to come.
There are times where, guys, I look in the mirror and I say, I need new friends. I need a new friend. I'm so frightened of what's eventually going to happen.
I don't need new friends. I need better friends.
Same difference. So I have a subject that is kind of important to me. Coming up now, a segment that I wanted to do, because if you remember when you went to beauty school and they taught you about client relation, you went through the Milady.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Okay, they taught, we learned about how to make hair walk and talk. We learned about, back when we came up through the ranks, I mean, you were in the salon from open to close. Okay. And I still remember the woman that trained me used to tell me all the time, oh, you want a personal life? Once you build your clientele, you get a personal life. But there are other aspects of life that we did, that weren't covered for us. It was, you got paid, you got tipped, and all they used to say to you was, you better save some money, right? So my question to you is, and to everyone else out there, and I really like some interaction on this, is what do you do, and what did you do to prepare for your future later on down the line? Because doing 16 heads a day, you can only do that for so long, right? Eventually your body starts letting you know that you can't keep up that pace. And so you have to look to the future, because unless you're in a very large salon, or you have a really awesome owner, or you have nobody, you really weren't told about setting up for your future. So, what are some of the things that you did to set up for your future?
Oh, you talking about like planning for retirement, or saving money, or just anything, benefits?
Or God forbid the day comes where you have to go to your doctor, and your doctor looks at you and goes, yeah, you've got some severe allergies to these products you're using.
Okay.
What do you do? I mean, what do you do to prepare for your future? And yes, I understand that this isn't. It's kind of like an octopus. There's a lot of legs to this, but I mean, what's everybody's biggest concern is being, having their financial end of things taken care of. So what do you do to prepare for your future?
I was given this advice a long, long time ago when I was first coming up. It was saying it was told to me, said, you're in the industry, but you're not always behind the chair. And at the time, that made no sense to me. I didn't understand the implication of what that meant. But you fast forward 2.5, almost 3 decades later, here we are, still in the industry. Not well, right now we're not behind. I mean, we're still behind the chair. We still work with clients, but our schedules have shifted, have adjusted. I don't need to be behind the chair as often as I used to be. I used to be behind the chair. Yeah. 12, 14 hours a day was a standard day. A long day was literally, no joke, 16 to 18 hours. I used to live in there was a time I literally was living in the salon. It was insane, 7 days a week, And now with the education that we do at HTB Beauty, the support that we provide, the work that we do with Profitable Stylist, this SFTB program that we have with helping hairdressers, htbbeauty.com, our website that we're doing all these things on, like it's really keeping us busy in the industry, doing shows, doing motivational talks, doing the private group, the support, the technical support, the virtual learning, the podcast that we're doing right now. We write articles, we get published in the magazine, we do photo work, we do commercial. Like there's so many facets to the industry above and beyond being physically behind the chair in the salon. And it always blew my mind when somebody would quit working behind the chair, they would go into nursing. And I'm not making fun. It was just, if you're a hair, you know how the expression goes, if you know, you know. If you've been in the industry you're long enough, like that was the thing. I don't know if it still is, but that was the thing. It's like, oh, I'm going to quit doing hair. Oh, what field of nursing you're going to go into now? But you don't like, yeah, okay, you can physically quit taking clients behind the chair. You can become a salon owner and still be in the industry, or you could do one of the multifaceted things that we just talked about and still be in the industry involved. You could do charity stuff. You could do philanthropy things, there's so many different directions that it could be done. It is an endless ocean. The amount of marketing that is desperately needed in our industry. There's a lot of marketing companies out there that do phenomenal work for all these other brands. But when it comes to our beauty industry, none of the traditional marketing rules apply.
Right.
We desperately need PR and marketing in this industry that is more custom tailored to this industry,
Right. Oh.
So I mean, yeah, there's like, I'm just saying. And then there's the financial aspect of it as well, too. Too many hairdressers have become like restaurant servers and are just desperately chasing tip after tip and complaining about tip instead of their service income. And it's like the service income is supposed to be your baseline. A tip is supposed to be additional income that is very volatile. It is not guaranteed. It is not owed. It is not required. It's not, what's the word? Entitled. Like you're not anything. You might get $1 today. You might get 0 tomorrow. That same person next time might give you 100, might give you 3, might give you 50, might give you 5. You don't know how somebody's situation changes from visit to visit and what their financial scenario looks like. It's got nothing to do whether the fact they appreciate you or not, because if they're coming to get their hair done, they obviously appreciate you, but they just don't have the ability to give you anything more than the service itself. So yeah, you're right. There's so many different directions we could take this conversation into. So many different directions. Is that kind of like what you're getting? Now you've got me going in like 20 different directions,
well, and that's the point of this. No, first thing I want to address something that you brought up with me, because it's kind of it's a very much a hot button topic with me, is tip income. Tip income. No one said, like you said, no one says that client has to tip you. Tips are the cherry on top of the ice cream sundae.
Yeah.
Okay. I worked with someone who used to keep track of what each client tipped them. And if a client maybe left in a rush and forgot to tip, this stylist would go to the client the next time they came in and be like, "Did you not like your hair the last time?" And the client would be like, "No, I loved it." "Well, then why didn't you tip me?"
That's so awkward.
And I don't know what I never really dug deep on it, because I witnessed it a couple times, and it just, the whole thing was so freaking awkward. It was crazy.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to find the right words here. Tipping, yes, it is part of your income. And in the state we live in, and with the federal government, we have to claim our tips, and we all claim our tips. Don't say a word. Do not say a word.
This is your show. I don't know you.
Look, with the NSA listening on our phone conversations, if we haven't
You
been picked up yet,
not me. I don't know what you're talking about right now.
Well, my point being on that is that my point being on that is your tips are, yeah, they're great. It's awesome. It is part of your income, whether we want to agree to it or whether people want to admit it or not. It is part of your income. But I was always more focused on my service dollars than I was on what I was getting tipped. So if a client did mention, "Oh, hey, did you get my tip last time?" Inside my head, I wouldn't know if they did or if they didn't, because I never really paid attention to that. I would get my tip envelopes, and I just open them up. "Oh yeah, Susie. Oh yeah," but I was more concerned about what my paycheck was going to look like instead of what my tips were. And a lot of it, for the longest time, what I would do is take my tips and I would just put them into an account, and that was my vacation fund, and it enabled me to go on vacations and things like that. And then furthermore, then I started investing them. And that's my point with this conversation today. What are we doing as stylists? We have to do something to ensure our future. To ensure that when the day comes that, hey, you know what? I'm going to go down to 2 days a week. That you've got enough of a nest egg that you can actually do that, and you don't end up like some of the broken down old hairdressers that you meet. And so you can actually do that. And so you can actually go on vacation. So you can actually live the life that you deserve to live, because it looks all fun and games, but it is a hard gosh damn job that we do. It is a hard job. It's physically hard on our bodies. It's hard on our brains. I mean, look at you, how you hate monkeys. You didn't always hate monkeys, but I'm sure somewhere along the line, perm solutions soaked into your brain.
I think I've always hated monkeys.
But my point being is that look to your future. We all need to look to our future, and it doesn't matter at what age you are. You have to pay attention to what's actually going on in your future. And there are people out there, there are financial advisors, things like that can help you move that forward and take that stress off, And yeah, I mean, and with the new generation of hairstylists that are uber creative coming in, they focus on that work on the I hate this term, but I'm going to use it, that work-life balance.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I heard it. Yeah.
The younger ones focus on it, man. They're all real creative too. It's not like they're less than. So they are.
Well, here's a good advice. If you're a salon owner, speak with your accountant and speak with your staff. You could do group 401s.
Mm-hmm.
You could do group benefits.
Mm-hmm.
And as long as the group is involved, you can actually be eligible to be able to create some kind of a benefit package. It's not going to be as robust as a major corporation is.
No,
but it's something better than zero. Okay.
Yep.
And if you're an independent stylist, talk to your accountant as well.
Yeah.
Because if you're an S Corp or if you're an LLC, or depending on how you've got yourself positioned, you are eligible for even a medical, it's called SEP account. It's like you can personally fund yourself accounts and retirements and other beneficial packages to some degree, to some extent.
Right.
And these are write-offs. These are recognized by the government. These are legitimate things that we just don't know about. It's not that you're not taking advantage or disadvantage. No. You just may not be aware.
No,
because a lot of these things did not exist for a long time. Okay.
Yeah.
And if you are physically in pain, and if you have been in the industry a little bit longer, and you're looking, you're kind of feeling like you're stuck and you don't know what to do because you're not aware if there is an exit strategy, like I was talking about, see if you can get more involved in the industry on the back end.
Right.
You don't necessarily have to be on the front end. And if you love this industry, but you don't like Carmelina, for example, she doesn't want to be licensed. I try to push her all the time to go get licensed. She doesn't want to do it, but she loves the industry. She loves being involved in the industry, and she helps us out on the back end all the time. She is a phenomenal support staff. She's a very crucial. So there's a lot of projects you and I have worked on that she's come in clutch.
You know what? Karma's, and to tell the true story, Carm was actually a receptionist at the salon that I worked at, and you worked at for a short period of time before you guys met. And Carm was a fantastic receptionist. Fantastic. Clients loved her. Everybody loved her. She was great. And then you ruined her.
There's so many facets of the industry that are available.
Yep. Agreed. So
that's a great topic. I like that topic.
Yeah. I mean, and we could go real deep with that, and I think that we need to revisit this and maybe even quite possibly bring on someone who would know more about those things you were talking about.
I think we should take apart the different, because there's, like I said, there's so many different directions with it.
Yeah.
I think we should focus on a couple of them and break them down.
Yeah,
I'm all for it.
Yeah, I think it would be great and very educational for everybody. So onward and upward with our day, I need to ask you about Keratint, and more to the point about Keratint. Keratint, which is all nutrients,
demi-glaze color. Yeah.
Sorry, my brain just shifted to neutral. I'm still playing with financial numbers. We were talking,
Got you thinking.
There are two developers that come. There are two developers for Keratint. Besides the fact we don't even want to get into the.
Well, you're talking about the Demi developer and the Demi Plus. You're talking about
Demi Plus. So, when do you choose Demi and when do you choose Demi Plus? Now, first off, I think to open this up, we got to go with the Demi developer is
1.6% peroxide.
Yeah, 1.6%.
1.3 or 1.6?
I thought it was 1.6.
Okay, 1 point. Let's just be safe and say 1.6.
God, we are awful educators. And then the Demi Plus is 3 volume, correct?
No, it's 3%.
I'm at 3%. Sorry.
We are awful educators.
We are awful. We're bad educators. God, we're awful. It's 3%. Okay. So with that being said, and we have to establish also, look, we call it how it is. Okay.
Okay,
Yes,
sort
demi
of
sauce.
Keratint
Worst.
demi glaze color from All Nutrient. The demi developer is
Yes,
1.6% peroxide. The demi plus
correct.
developer is 3% peroxide.
Yes,
The only reason why that even matters is because Keratint does not have ammonia in it.
right.
So the
Okay.
way it develops when it's being mixed with the peroxide, in this particular instance, the percentage strength of the peroxide matters because, like, for example, in permanent color, we usually say 10 volume, 20 volume, 30 volume, 40 volume. We're not talking about, 6%, 9%, 12% peroxide when we're talking about 20, 30, 40 volume developers. Okay. So, yeah. So I follow. Okay. So now I follow what you're talking about now. I'm with you.
Okay. Okay. So I
We're
guess
back in gear. We're back in our lane.
so. So I guess my point being is, if you want with this color and it's a gel consistency when you mix it up, and the spreadability is huge, and you mix it up equal parts, right?
Okay.
There's no 2 to 1,
Yeah, equal
2.3.
parts. Yeah.
Yeah. You mix it up equal parts. So when it comes to from wanting to do, let's just call it, if you were going to do an overglaze on someone, say we wanted to
Okay.
just add, let's use your hair because you have hair, I don't. Um, or no, yeah, because that's great because we'll use something on me shortly. If you want to just do an overglaze, like say we wanted to take some 6R, mix it up with the demi developer, and just run it through your hair to add just a red overglaze to your hair. The demi developer is the way you want to go, correct?
I mean, you could, but wouldn't the Demi Plus give you a little bit better movement because it's a little bit stronger? It's 3%.
Well, but if we're really thinking about it, you color your hair as it is, right?
But okay, so I color my hair with a level 2, so with 2CS, which is a level 2 slate, meaning it's got a green olive base to it. I'm very ashy. So
Right.
trying to put a red overglaze over my hair, what are you trying to create? Are you trying to create that glow effect in the sun?
Yeah.
Are you trying to
Yeah.
create that glow effect?
Just more of an overglaze to first off seal in the color on your hair, which is the point I was getting to seal in the color on your hair, and then yeah, just add like a translucent like red cast to it.
Oh, okay. Yeah. If you're
Yeah,
going for a translucent red, yeah. Demi
yeah,
developer is
yeah.
fine.
So,
Yeah,
so
that's fine.
with the demi, you're going to get more of a with the demi developer. You're going to get more of a translucent effect in comparison to the demi plus developer, where say I wanted to blend this gray in my beard, and I would use your 2CS, and I could use the demi plus since it's ammonia free. It's a be a lot safer on my face. And I use Keratint a lot for men's gray blending. Um,
We have to amend what you said.
what do you mean?
This is our personal opinion. This got nothing to do with All Nutrient. They do not condone what we are talking about right now.
Oh yes, of course.
And also, to the state of Illinois,
We never apply to eyebrows or any
this
facial
is
hair.
all a
No,
hypothetical
we're just
conversation that we are having right now.
we're using this just as the gray in my beard as an example. Yes, you
Yes,
are
blink
correct. And if you
twice if
notice, it is
everything
not
is
colored.
okay.
Do you feel safe, Eddie?
Not right now with this conversation, no.
Anyway,
I
okay,
hate
fine.
rules. I hate rules so much. I mean, I understand they're necessary, but for the love of God, I hate the fact that we have to disclaim what the hell we're talking about right now.
So, and so I just wanted to explain the uses of the developers because I'm sure there's a lot of confusion when people get this product, especially when there is that choice between two developers, in what situation would you use each? Yeah,
You're actually giving a great example, because if we use your beard and if we pretend that's the hair on your head,
right.
and if you did with the demi developer, if you just put straight demi developer with color, even a 2CS, even a level 2, which is really dark,
It'd be very
would
transparent.
it cover? Well, there's so many variables involved in hair color. You got texture, you got density, you got porosity. Porosity being the main culprit in this scenario that's going to make or break whether or not this works or doesn't work, or how well it works. And a lot of people will use demi developer, and they'll go in and they'll put it on and they'll be like, it didn't cover 100%. I didn't get the result I was expecting. It's like, but you got the result that you told the color to give you, because you only used the demi developer. And then you're like, you should have used the demi plus. And like, well, the demi plus is stronger. I'm like, yeah, it is. That's exactly why. It's like, well, I don't want any lift. It's like, but there's no ammonia. And then all of a sudden their heads explode. So I think that's really what you're talking about. That's what you're asking.
That's exactly what I'm talking about. And it's all about how deep it, I mean, like you and I were talking about earlier, it's all about how deep into the hair shaft you want to go. Right? So with the demo,
Why do you keep blanking out?
you'd probably get a nice coating, but then about five face washings later, it would be it'd be just a shadow of what the color originally was, compared to if you actually had something, because your developers or your drivers, you had something that you could drive a little deeper into the hair shaft with. And that's my point with about the developers, and especially with Keratin, which is it's kind of like I always call it the Swiss Army knife of the all nutrient line, because you can take it and you can pretty much use it to change. Well, I don't think you can use it to change a tire on your car, but as far as hair color goes, you can.
Those bottles are pretty strong. You could probably get a lug nut in there.
I mean, because it is a fantastic product to low light with, and from that all the way to, it's a fantastic product to do like that overglaze, to do a temporary color with, where someone wants to try it and not be locked into it. It's an amazing product. I encourage everybody to look into it, and you get a lot of bang for your buck with Keratin, because it moves across the hair like butter, for lack of a better term. There, we're talking about food and hair again. But the spreadability of it is fantastic, and you get a lot for a little with it. Do you care to add anything to that?
No, I think this is one of those scenarios where people, this is why we have a lot of our toning classes. We have Toning University program. We have a Toning Mastery program. We have a number of other types of color classes. You can go to htbbeauty.com and check us out. But a lot of our color classes, especially when it comes to peroxide and developer, and the interaction of how developer works with color, I think there's a lot of confusion in there. With permanent color, people always get stuck on 20 volume. And then you tell them, well, you need 10 volume to cover grays in some scenarios, and then their minds are blown away. Or like you're talking about the demi versus demi plus, and now it's peroxide strength. And all of a sudden they're like, well, we don't even understand what's peroxide strength. It's like, yeah, because in the absence of ammonia only chelates, only opens, only softens the cuticle. That is the only job of ammonia. It doesn't do anything else. It is the peroxide, whether you're using a demi or a permanent color, in this case, demi we're talking about, but peroxide's job is to go in and diffuse the natural melanin and push it out of the way to make room for the artificial pigment coming in.
Right.
And then in this case, if you're putting it over pre-lightened hair as a toner, then you've raised purposely and targeted the porosity of the hair so you can get better absorption. And if you're doing it as an overglaze, then you haven't raised the hair. And I'm saying raise, not raise like the color. I guess that was a wrong choice of words. I was talking about raise like you blow a house down, like the
Yes.
Vikings raid, raise the house.
Right.
You haven't blown out the pigment purposely. So as an overglaze, you're using, peroxide to try to create that horizontal movement shift for tonality into the hair.
Right.
So yeah, peroxide, there's a lot of things involved with peroxide. So that's a lot of our color classes.
Yeah. Yeah. So that was Keratint is something that everybody should look into, because I think it's an amazing tool to have in your toolbox. 100%. Before we get into our motivation end of the day, I have a subject that we got to touch on real quick, and that is October 7th. We did not mention October 7th this week.
The definitive hair loss forum.
Definitive hair loss.
Presented by Xenogen.
In October 7th from...
It's on a Monday. It's 9:30 to 5.
Thought it was 4:30.
Oh, 9 to 4:30?
I think so. That's what it is.
Not only are we terrible educators, we are also terrible salespeople.
Well,
we're just terrible.
Darren, fire us. We need to be fired. Also, you get 6 CEU hours. How many? 6 CEU hours?
Yeah. So it's a one-day event on Monday, October 7th in Downers Grove. It's going to be 6 hours. It's hosted by Xenogen. It's all the struggle that a lot of clients are having. I should say women in general that are having with hair shedding and hair loss. All jokes aside, this definitive hair loss forum is going to be a hot topic discussion that's going to be led by the creator of Xenogen and the director of education from Xenogen,
Chad.
So Chad and Jared are both coming in. They're flying in specifically for this one-day event, and they're going to be talking to a very limited group of stylists. And the reason why we're keeping it limited is because this is a forum. This is an open discussion. So we're really going to be going at it from the science side of things and from the styling side of things. So by attending this program, not only are you going to learn why your client's hair or your own hair is shedding or falling out, but you're also going to understand how to get in front of it and how to prevent it, how to slow it down, or how to deal with it, depending on what stage you're at. Because a lot of people do not realize how many different stages there are, and they don't realize how preventable it is versus how treatable it is.
Right.
So Jared's going to come in and talk about the science side of it, but then you've got Chad, who's also going to talk about the styling side of it. Because too many times, all of a sudden you go from, oh, you're shedding to, oh, we'll just start teasing your hair, or we'll just start doing your hair this specific way. And you may not realize that may not be the best course of action. You may be potentially adding to the issue rather than taking away from the issue. So instead of masking the problem, Chad's going to talk to us about how to cut the hair, how to layer the hair properly, how to style the hair properly, to, again, help us understand and realize that there are ways to get in front of this issue. It is preventable in most cases. It is treatable in a lot of cases. You're not stuck with this.
Right.
So it's a very engaging and a very informative program. And especially when you are sitting there and you've got hair coming out and you've got that little fur ball in the shower, or, you slap it on the wall, like a lot of women will take the hair and slap it against the wall and they got a big clump of hair, or you're brushing your hair and you just got a clump of hair in that brush. That's a freak out moment, man. That's a terrible, terrible freak out moment.
Yeah.
So, again, it's preventable. It's treatable. There is a solution for that. That's what this definitive hair loss forum is about. So that's what Monday, October 7th is about.
Go to htbbeauty.com. Check it out. Limited tickets are available. And also to add to that, both Eddie and myself will be there. And Darren will be there.
Darren will be there. You and I will be there. You know, we're providing lunch, so definitely during lunch hour, we'll be interacting with everybody as well too.
Yeah, and bring Eddie a banana.
Bring me an apple.
Bring Eddie a banana because
you know what's good for you.
He refuses to accept the fact that he's a monkey.
Knees, buddy boy.
Okay, so now to end this on a positive note, my friend, I've got
Tell me how I shouldn't kick you in your knees.
Bring it. Bring it. I've got your inspirational quote for the day. You ready?
Get me.
Dream as if you'll live forever. Live as if this was your last day.
Dream as if you'll live forever and live as if this is your last day. That is your motivational quote if you bring me a banana.
It's going to be your last day. The funniest part is I hope so you end up with like a case and a half of bananas, but
I will hurt you. I will hurt you. All right, break that down. So I usually break it down for you. Break it down.
Okay. Dream is, we'll break it down in both senses. Dream is if you'll live forever. So we all dream. We all have dreams, aspirations, what have you. You got to dream far into the advanced, far into your life. I have, ideas and things where I want to be, preferably parked behind a desk somewhere, with a Nerf gun shooting you on the daily. But you got to dream as if there is no time. You got to keep dreaming, and then live as if this is your last day. And that it kind of struck me because that's kind of the way I do things. And I know you do the same thing too, is by the end of the day, I got nothing left in my tank. I've given it all. I've given it all to my family. I've given it all to my clients. I've given it all to anybody that I can, as far as, all my energy, all my emotion, all my everything. And that way I do it that way. Cause that way, when usually when I pass out sitting straight up and down, I can't say I coulda, woulda, dida, shoulda. There we go. Coulda, woulda, shoulda. That's how I describe live as this is your last day. Because if this is your last day that you ever had, what would you want to accomplish? And I try to accomplish everything I possibly can. And that's not just on a business end of things. It's also on my personal end of thing. And, and that's what it means to me.
I think it's a great saying. You got to dream big.
Yeah.
Don't worry about the details. Just have the dream. And by having a dream, you give yourself a path. It's a lot better than just sitting there and existing. And you're just aimlessly being dragged along with the current like a piece of driftwood. And you're just going to wash up on a shore one day. And this is where you ended up. That's why a lot of people end up having regret later on in life, because they never had an idea of where they were going. They just kind of went with the flow. And there is a certain thing to that, but I'm not discounting that you shouldn't. Either way, point is this. If you have a dream and you say one day, this, and you're like, all right, it may be realistic, it may be unrealistic, but regardless of which one it is, there is a certain aspect of whatever it is your major dream is that you can accomplish today. However minute, however small that is. So if you pretend this was your last day, which part of that major dream could you make happen right now? By the end of the day, what part of that major dream could you live the life on now? And if you try your best to accomplish that, what you will find is that a sense of fulfillment, a sense of enjoyment, a sense of accomplishment. It is how you say endorphins?
Endorphin rush. Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
And then the next day you're like, wow, can I do that again? Or could I do gooder?
Gooder.
How do you say it? Right.
It's gooder.
Gooder. It's gooder. Can I do better? Could I do more? And then the next day, you're like, could I do even more? Before you know it, you are a freight train, man. You are going down the track and you're actually going towards a destination.
Right.
And baby steps. You know, what was that? What about Bob? Was that the Bill Murray movie? He kept saying baby steps, baby steps, baby steps, baby steps to the elevator, baby steps down the stairs, you know? But that's the whole thing. Like you just one step at a time, left foot, right foot, you know?
Right.
And you end up getting somewhere. You end up getting somewhere before you know it. That's a cool quote. Okay, that's a fun one.
That is,
I like that one.
Yeah, that is your that's your motivation for the day.
You know what? It's quantifiable.
It is. It is.
And I really, that's a big word for me. I love that word. I love using that word because it means you have a measure. You have something tangible. You have something that you can actually see that you've done part of the bigger picture. And a lot of people are like, oh, I'm not a big picture person. Even better. So then just imagine some insane big picture and just focus on the details. And then some people are like, oh, I'm not good at the details. Even better. Since you are an artistic, creative, big picture person, think of the biggest picture you can. And then smash it with a hammer and turn it into a little piece of a puzzles and try to put puzzles together, you know?
Yeah, agreed.
And then some people are like, well, I'm not analytical. Even better. Get a friend and say, this is my dream. How do I socialize with you to make it, you know, there's like those 4 personalities, right?
Right.
So, and, you know, and if you're the domineering personality, then this conversation doesn't even matter to you because you already know this and you're already on your way to doing it. You know?
Right.
So while you're going along, grab somebody else for the ride and drag them along with you. You know,
that's awesome. That is awesome. So you were far more eloquent about this than I was. So just to read,
I'm just like goofing off.
Yeah,
because that one motivates me. My dream is to understand this quote, and which part of that quote can I break it down right now?
So just to retread on the quote, dream as if you'll live forever. Live as if this is your last day. And to close everything out, we appreciate everybody that interacts with us. We appreciate every single one of you guys that watch our videos. We are honored and greatly appreciative of all of you. And all we ask is that maybe you give us a like, maybe you give us a subscribe, or if you don't want to, don't. But come the end of the day, what we really want you to do is make a difference one strand at a time. We want to thank you guys for this week, and we will see you same time next week. Be good.
Thanks for watching. I hate you. I hate you so much. Godzilla beats King Kong every time, man.